Good Thursday morning to you all. Hopefully you guys are doing great. We got another Watchmen update. Yesterday there were limited strikes on Iran, and maybe it was just a one-off, but then again this morning, major strikes again, and Iran responded by launching a ballistic missile at a U.S. airbase in the Middle East. We got to talk about that, as well as these imaginary ceasefire talks. We need to talk about that. Major new U.S. sanctions have been issued directly at the Iranian toll collecting agency. This is going to certainly get the Iranian attention. And President Trump moves on Democrat sanctuary cities. We need to talk about that today because this is a major move that will undoubtedly be challenged in court, but could really wake up some cities. We also have some good sales being reported by you this past weekend, as well as more coming up. Ground beef getting crazy in price. That and a whole lot of reports coming from you guys. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates. If you have something to share, make sure you use that word update somewhere in your comment. It does get it to the right place. I want to thank you for being a part of the Watchmen community. Also want to thank Genesis Gold Group. They help people with retirement accounts to get out of this crazy stock market and into something safer. Physical precious metals. Not gambling on the stock market, not gambling on what's going to happen next, but rather transitioning your fiat paper currency over into physical precious metals. If you want to find out more about that, just click on the link at the end of the video, and they'll reach out to you and answer your questions. No obligation to move forward with them whatsoever if you do. All right, Iran leaked yesterday what they claim was a draft memorandum of understanding. This is being talked about for the past week and a half by the folks in Washington, D.C., and you know, the United States and Iran were supposedly close last week. A week and a half ago, we were hours away from an understanding and release of that information, and now we're not anywhere near. Well, Iran is playing that game now too, like, hey, we came up with a draft of the extension of the ceasefire. Well, President Trump came out there and basically called it a total fabrication. The draft seemed wholly unacceptable to the United States whatsoever, especially since it didn't even touch the issue of the enriched uranium. Naturally, oil prices are down, even though this fabrication has been proven to be a total fabrication, that the talks are basically nowhere closer than what they were before. But both sides seem to be playing that game of manipulating the price of oil downwards in order to keep the pressure off of them to end things. All right. Also, the United States has carried out new airstrikes in southern Iran. We're trying to piece together what happened through the different accounts. Apparently, U.S. targeted a military launch site, as the U.S. says, that was believed to pose a threat to U.S. forces and commercial maritime traffic in the Strait of Hormuz. Basically, it appears that was a launch site for Iranian drone attack that was launched on an American oil tanker that was trying to transit the Strait of Hormuz. Now, it's unclear if that was an American flagged oil tanker or American owned or something along those lines. But this has come from Iran. They said an American oil tanker tried to transit the Strait of Hormuz with its radar turned off. The IRGC fired 4 drones as warning shots, they said, but the U.S. Navy saying that they weren't warning shots, they were really trying to attack the ship. But the U.S. Navy downed all 4 drones, but this did force the tanker to stop and turn back. The U.S. then struck the launchers using aircraft. And then Iran launched a ballistic missile attack towards Ali al-Salam Airbase in Kuwait. from which the airstrike came. The missile was one of the missiles, at least, was intercepted by a Patriot battery stationed at the airbase. Unclear if it was just one missile or multiple missiles, but that's kind of what happened. Iran out there saying that in the event of another strike on Iran, that their response would be even more resolute, whatever that means. President Trump, when discussing before the media, Iran and Oman jointly conducting tolls on ships going through the Strait of Hormuz, President Trump casually threatened to blow up Oman, not Iran, but Oman, which Oman is not at war with the United States, basically saying we'll blow up Oman if they don't behave. Unclear what he was thinking, whether this is a serious policy or a serious threat to Oman, or whether it was a slip of the tongue, or what's going on with that. Unclear at this moment exactly what just happened. The search for 9 people in the U.S. Missing after the chemical tank imploded. This is in Washington State. This happened yesterday. We were warning you about this tank that was looking at leaking. This was at the Nippon Dynawave cardboard milk carton manufacturing site. Looks like at least 11 people have perished there, but it could be even worse than that. They're still looking for some people. Very critical situation there. A lot of deadly chemicals have been released there. U.S. Homeland Security Mark Wayne Mullen said that the Trump administration is drawing up plans to stop processing international travelers and cargo at major U.S. airports in sanctuary cities, the ones that have declined to cooperate with immigration crackdowns. So this is a big deal because what are some of these cities? Los Angeles, San Francisco. These are major hubs, international hubs, where Americans are coming in and out of. If the United States Border Patrol refuses to conduct immigration checkpoints at these airports, that's going to basically shut down a lot of these airports' capabilities to fly to these other countries if you can't get back in. Unclear whether this is going to be legal or whether the Trump administration will be able to do this. I can imagine a emergency court order is going to be issued almost immediately if they do try to implement that. I don't know what kind of mechanism they're planning on using, but this could be used to get their attention very quickly. The U.S. Treasury has just sanctioned the Persian Gulf Strait Authority. This is the entity that Iran created in order to manage Hormuz shipping. Per OFAC's update, the PGSA, Persian Gulf Strait Authority by the Iranians, has been added to the specially designated nationals list under counterterrorism authorities and explicitly linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which is a terrorist entity according to the United States Treasury Department. So basically, no shipping company will be able to pay the toll to the IRGC without being slapped with secondary sanctions themselves, which will make it so that these companies are going to stop going through the Strait of Hormuz and paying the toll. They're going to either have the option of running through the Strait of Hormuz without paying the toll, or they're going to have to sit there, wait for this thing to blow over. This is going to seriously restrict the number of ships getting through, especially large tankers. Also, and this seems like a footnote, nobody will even mention it on a day like today, but drone attacks were reported on 3 separate tankers in the Black Sea. That's the see between Russia and Ukraine and Turkey. That was just yesterday. 3 tankers came under drone attack. And we also see a note out there that the United States is planning to reduce the military resources that it makes available to NATO if any of those NATO states come under attack. Proposed reductions include fewer fighter jets, strategic bombers, destroyers, refueling aircraft, and the complete withdrawal of U.S. submarine support to NATO operations. This is all part of the push to force European NATO members to actually take their own security and their situation more seriously. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has defeated the incumbent Senator John Cornyn in the Republican Senate primary. This is a big deal out after the endorsement by President Trump, highlighting, of course, President Trump's influence within the Republican Party and his ability to shape election outcomes. Paxton secured a decisive win and now is expected to be the Republican candidate in the upcoming Senate election for Texas and will probably be elected. South Korea has summoned the Iranian ambassador over a recent ship attack on the HMM Namu. This was a Korean-operated cargo ship that was struck in the Strait of Hormuz on May 4th. South Korean investigators concluded that the vessel was likely hit by 2 Iranian-developed Nor anti-ship missiles. One of the missiles failed to explode upon impact while the other detonated, causing a fire and minor injury to 1 crew member. The Koreans have nothing to do with this conflict in the Middle East, and yet the Iranians were like, hey, your ship can't come through here, and we're going to start shooting at it. Obviously, that is a major problem diplomatically for Iran. They are expressing regret over the damage to the ship, but denying that the Iranians did this, suggesting a possible false flag operation. Yes, I'm sure the Israelis did it. That's what Iran is suggesting, which is crazy. Lynn says yesterday at Walmart in northwest Louisiana, a 5-pound ground beef 80/20 was $32.43. A week ago, it was $28, and 2 months ago, it was $24. Now it's $32.43. Other items were up, but not as drastic of a change. Tarib says, Shelbyville, Indiana. Steve, I had to go to Walmart to get a pound of hamburger for guests coming for the holiday because not everyone likes ground venison. The cheapest I found was $7.92 for ground beef. I may be telling my age, but in 1988, I could get it for 99 cents a pound on sale. I made jokes and told my family. Fortunately, the checkout machine had an option to refinance my mortgage for buying the meat. It feels like that, doesn't it? And it's not a laughing matter, really. Joyce says, in Washington State, look carefully at the pasta package you pick up at Fred Meyer's. I watched yesterday morning as an employee had a large stack sitting directly on the floor of the store in the pasta aisle. It didn't look like he was cleaning the shelves, just emptied the Kroger brand onto the floor, not just one of them, and stacked them all on the floor. I went back later, all of them were back on the shelf, and now they are on sale for $1 a piece. But food handling tips, don't put food on the floor, especially if you're a store. Kim says, Virginia, I was told yesterday by a corn farmer for Purdue in Salisbury, Maryland, that he's getting out of the commercial farming completely due to how expensive it's getting. And he said that he's been losing money. It's not good when your food loses its food. He still has his cattle, but he said it's hard to find a good butcher due to all the regulations that have been coming out. Canning season has just turned into a year-round event for us. Be getting stocked up, friends. Things are going to keep getting more expensive on the beef front, and fresh produce is disappearing. Hardy Styles says this info regarding ticks using sulfur powder, you can buy it in bags at Tractor Supply, they have it. It's great for blueberries, lowers acidity, and ticks hate the stuff. And other animals that eat your vegetables or fruit, you can just sprinkle it around the base of the plant, and it works as a fertilizer, as well as gets these ticks and other creatures out of your garden. Elaine says, we bought a freeze dryer about 5 years ago, and of course, with a new toy, I freeze dried everything. Well, that's been a while back, and I haven't really done much of it for a couple of years. But with the prices of everything going up and availability, I will be freeze drying all of my tomatoes this year, squash and eggs, and pickling all of my cucumbers. Nothing will be going to waste this year. It's also my first year with pretty good blackberry harvest. Hoping to make some yummy jam. First time for everything. Yeah, friends, time to learn new skills, get new plants in the ground. Anything that can bear fruit or keep feeding you year after year is something awesome to get in the ground. Pen says, we have a store in North Carolina called Carly C's. This weekend there, pork picnic was on sale for $1.28 a pound. With these sales, I buy up a couple of them and grind the meat to make pork sausage, free bone for soup and dog, and render the lard and jar it up. Then the ground meat, and I freeze 1 pound quantities. It beats buying ground pork on the average of $3.21 a pound. Counting and pricing, last time I saved approximately $40 in doing it that way. I have chickens, and notice that $40 that you save is tax-free income to you, right? Solotap says, in central Minnesota, the weather has been crazy here of late. Just about a week ago, we had a frost. This week, we have 2 days in 90-degree plus heat. That's a 60-degree swing. Our poor plants and pollinators are super confused. I'm expecting a mass die-off of food and bugs this year. Prepare now. Get your water, food, gas, and seeds ready. Faye says Washington State, near Vancouver, Washington. We reported this already earlier. The huge paper mill fire, many critically injured. I foresee toilet paper, etc., going up in price and shortages, possibly from this event. They did produce milk cartons in particular. That's what some folks are pointing out. What happens to milk if they don't have cartons to stick the milk in? Lucille says, I'm in Maine, and our Hannaford has been selling chicken quarters for 99 cents a pound. This week's special is ground beef for $2.99 a pound. I have been stocking up. There are sales out there, and if you get stocked up, you can get prepared. Meat is the big one, but produce is going to get more and more scarce out there. Fresh produce, especially fruits. This coming fall, we're going to be seeing a lot of shortages on apples, cherries, and all sorts of things like peaches. A lot of these fruits are going to disappear or are going to have a serious shortage out there. Please be getting stocked up what you and your family need soon. All right, friends, thanks so much for joining with us. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold Group about what you can do with your retirement account, just click on the link right there, fill out your information, and they'll get in contact with you. You can always contact them directly. Check out the description down below. If you do reach out to them directly, make sure you mention this channel so they waive your setup fee. Great folks over there, and like I said, no obligation to move forward with them, but they will educate you, answer your questions, and you can see if it's a good fit for you to move some or all of your retirement assets over into precious metals. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.